Hey BSU, today I'm going to show you a quick overview on how to utilize BeaverLink. First thing you want to do is go to your MyBSU and log in order to get into BeaverLink. Once you've logged in, you can see your name in the top left and you'll see the BeaverLink drop down somewhere. Once you've loaded in, you're going to be on the home page of BeaverLink. Home page has alerts that you might want to know for your student organization, what memberships you're involved in, what events are coming up, latest news from events, from clubs, and important campus links. Today I'm going to go through each one of those and give a little bit of explanation on how to utilize them. First thing I want to show you is our events tab. In our events tab, you can look up what's coming up next. You can see what's happening tomorrow or this week, or you can look for even a certain ending date. If you're looking for a certain type of event, if you're looking for something that is just more cultural, you can click on the cultural check and you can see all kinds of opportunities. If you're looking for something that has maybe more of a social aspect to it, you can click on social and you can see all kinds of great opportunities. You can also search for different types of categories. So if you're looking at our Best You at BSU model and you wanted to find something physical, you can click the physical check and see what kind of physical opportunities are out there. Lastly, you can look for what kind of perks are attached. For the most part, free stuff and free food are the ones you're going to see. If you click on free food, you can see that there are opportunities to get some free food this week for sure. From there, you can also look at organizations. So let's say you haven't found an organization yet, and you're trying to find something, and fishing is your thing. Let's say you want to find something with fishing, you can search for fishing, and you can see there's a fishing team. If you left fish, you might see the American Fisheries Society, or other teams that might have some other organizations that might have something to do with fishing. If you click on the fishing team, you can see contact information for folks on the team, and you can see some photos from what the club has been up to, who the leadership is for the organization, bylaws, the constitutions for the team. And if you want, you can actually contact and send a message to that club and just ask them some questions about their organization. Lastly, if you're really interested, you can click the join button and the primary contact will get a request to join that club. From there, the news and forms tabs are great tabs to take a look at, but forms will have another location where you'll see important forms coming up. Will mostly show up here if you need to utilize some of those forms. If you are in a club and you are in a leadership role, there's some really important things that you may want to know about how to utilize BeaverLink. If you're on the home page and you see your club, and we're going to look at campus activities board, you're going to have this Manage Organization tab. If you click Manage Organization, it's going to pull up kind of your home page. And your home page tells you how many members are in your organization, who that primary contact is, and you're looking for the little 3 bars up in the top left. If you click that, that's going to open up all sorts of different tabs for you to utilize. The core ones today we're going to look at are your roster and events and service hours. If you go to your roster is who's involved in your student organization. So right now, CAB has about 17 members and each with different roles. You're able to change those roles by clicking Manage Positions. In here, we're allowed to create new positions or change what a position has, what position can do. So if we're looking at the creative director, the creative director right now has no access, so they wouldn't actually be able to manage the organization. But if we change that to all access, they would be able to make all these changes, or we could give them limited access to their organization based on what we want them to be able to edit. If they were a marketing person, we wanted them to be able to upload photos, we'd be able to give them full access to photo. We would save our changes and then add someone to that position. So if we go back to our roster, we'd go to Caleb and we would make them the creative director and click Save. From there, you are able to invite people to your organization. So if you have some students who aren't on your roster, you want to do that, you can do that by adding their first name dot last name at live.bemidji.state.edu email address. You want it to be the first name dot last name. It shouldn't be the star ID. It shouldn't be at GoMin. It needs to be first name dot last name at live.bemidji.state.edu. After you click add email addresses, it's not done. You actually still need to click send. So You can give them a specific role, but almost everyone will be a member. You click send and they will get an invitation on the homepage. Now I'm already part of this organization, so I won't get an invitation, but you can go and look and see if people still have pending invites. There's a few pending still for our organization. And if a student did request to join your organization, you'll see the perspective button for you to go to and accept people in your org. When you have a full roster, one tool that BeaverLink has for you is messaging. And messaging is really helpful, so you don't have to type in 17 email addresses. You can just go to messaging. You can create a relay, and you can choose who you're going to send it to. Now, most of the time, you're going to send it just to your members, which will go to everyone, whether they're the president or advisor. They will get this because they are a member of the organization. Once you've clicked member, you can create a subject, and I'm just going to type in test, and then we can send to specific members if we want to. So let's say you didn't want to send it to everyone, you could click this and send to specific people. Once you know how many you're sending it to, you're going to generate a link for yourself. You can copy and paste this into your own email, or you can click it. If you've loaded into BeaverLink, it'll actually open up its own email box. And so I highly suggest, if you don't have your email loaded up on your computer, do a Control-C and go to your email through our homepage, and you'll be able to send an email through there. From there, that is your roster. Roster is really important to have updated. Another thing that you want to make sure you have updated is your About section. So in your About, you might have information about what your student organization does, who they are, what do they do. You also have contact information, so you want to make sure that this information is correct. We want to make sure that we're receiving our emails and that we know that students are interested in contacting us, if there's a phone number that they should have, and that students could go to your Facebook page or your Instagram page and be able to see what your club is up to. If you don't utilize that page anymore, you don't utilize that Facebook page, definitely take it down from Facebook and remove it from this section so that students don't go to look and see what you're doing and then go, oh, they haven't been active for 4 years. I probably don't need to try and join this club. After your About section, one of the really important pieces that I want to make sure everyone knows how to do is utilize our Events tab. In Events, you can create more events for your club so that students can see your events on the campus calendar, on the BeaverLink calendar, and on the core gap. Also, when these events are on BeaverLink, the leadership team in the HMU will take those events and add them to our marker board and chalk wall so students know about your upcoming events. You can add everything from a big, large-scale event to your club meetings so students know where to go, how to find you. I highly recommend you utilizing our Events tab. So you click Create Event. You're going to enter in the name of the program, the theme of what it will be, whatever you would like, whatever fits best. So most of the time it's going to be social. You're going to describe whatever the activity is. If you want to add organizations, you can always add somebody in. So if Campus Activities Board was working with our Active Minds, I would type them in and I would click, and now they are tied to this program as well. You choose your date, your location. You have to have a location. And then you can actually add in a secondary date. So if you're doing a blood drive, you could choose to do one date and then another date of that blood drive. Last thing we want you to do is make sure that you click some kind of category that falls within our Best You at BSU model. Again, most of the time that might be social, but you also might have free food or free stuff at the event, so you'll add that in. If you click next, it's going to be an opportunity to add a poster. Definitely add your poster to that and add opportunities add opportunity to make sure that your program stands out if you're searching for this online. Once you've added all of that in, you can go to the home page, scroll down, and your event will show up in here. With BeaverLink, you are able to scan students into your events. So if I wanted to scan students into an event that Campus Activities Board is putting on, we would go to Glow with the Flow, and we click this Manage Event button. You can check out the scanners from the front desk and a Surface if you need it. And once you have the laptop Surface or whatever computer you're going to be utilizing, and you've managed the event, you're going to go down, you're going to take this access code and you're going to copy it. You click the copy button, and then you're going to visit the URL page. Go to the URL page, you put that code in, submit, and now it's ready to swipe. So all you do is plug in your scanner, and when students come through, you scan their ID bars. Sometimes students don't have their student IDs, so you'll go back to this tab, and you're going to go to Track Attendance. Once you are in Track Attendance, you're going to click the Add Attendance button. And once in here, you can go to your Text Entry tab and add in their first name dot last name. So again, it's going to be josie.fogg@live.mgstate.edu. Once you have that, you can click Add, and it will add that our attendance was there. And that's it for scanning into student events. If we go back to the home page of BeaverLink, we're going to be going down to our campus link section in the bottom right. There's a lot of great tools for you to utilize here. The first one is our HMU Table 10 form. If you go to that, you're going to create a new submission. This is for if you want to share your program to students through the HMU. You can come in, you can add your information. If you have a poster you've already created, you'll upload that poster to here, and the leadership team in HMU will take those posters and create them on these table tents, and we put them out so students can see. If they're eating in the dining hall, they can see that. If your event is already on BeaverLink on the homepage, it will also be put on the chalk wall, on the marker board downstairs, and the marker calendars, and we will definitely help with your marketing of your program. Definitely use the HMU table tent, great opportunity. The next one that you can utilize is our room/tabling reservations. If you go here to this link, you're going to log in with your star ID, and you can go to the reservations tab and go to BSU room requests or tabling requests. In the room request, you can choose what day you want your event. And this is tomorrow. If I was looking for an 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Time frame, and I knew I had 6 other students who wanted to come to our meeting, I might look for a space with the existing setup. I can see there's a couple different opportunities. I might say, oh, Viking's a great space. I want to go to Viking. I click on Viking. All right, I chose the wrong date. Got to choose the right date. And then we're going to find that space again. Click on Viking, and now it's added. I tried to book too close to the next date where it might not work out. So now that I've chosen to request room a little bit further away, I can have how many people. I can continue on to the next page. And here's where you're going to need to find your organization if it's your first time coming through and doing this. So you're going to look for your club. And so let's say I was looking for Campus Activities Board. I would search Campus Activities. Oh, I already got Campus Activities up top. Sorry. So let's just say I was looking for fishing. Fish has no. From here, you're going to want to look for your group. If you go to your group, you're going to see I have Campus Activities Board up here already, but I'll just remove them real quick. Now I'm going to look for them. They're going to show up, and I'm going to add them back to myself here. So I'm going to click Done. I can click the drop down and go to Campus Activities Board. I can find myself in here as one of the contacts. I want to make sure that the phone number that's provided is the correct phone number, correct email address. So this is wrong. I want to go to josie.fogg, Bemidji State. And then I'm going to submit. I will get I also would need to add a name. And so I'm not going to submit this, but if I click submit, an email would go out saying, hey, you've requested to utilize this space, and you'll get an email from HMU about that. And that's utilizing our room requests. The next one is our student org fundraising form. If you go to our student org fundraising form, you're going to be able to tell us what kind of fundraisers are coming up. This is something that you need to do if you're doing some kind of fundraiser in HMU, if you're asking businesses for money, you're able to fill this out and let us know what is it that you are doing for fundraising. And then if we see some opportunity for you to grow that, if there's an opportunity working with our alumni office, that kind of thing, we will reach out to you and talk to you a little bit about that and approve or not approve what you're doing for fundraising. From there, most of you won't use the office/department registration form. That's something that if your department doesn't have a BeaverLink page, we are able to get you one. You can always go to our catering page, which is with Airmark on campus. If you're looking to do food in the HMU, you can create an account. You can see I'm already logged in. You can create your own account and you can create orders from here. If you're looking for anything, you can look around what kind of opportunities are there. You can always click on the breakfast menu to see what kind of opportunities you have for cost per person. We do have of the month nominations, I think are a great opportunity to point out to fellow leaders or to your advisors or to programs that you've seen on campus that you want to say, that was awesome, you did a great job. We highly recommend going to the of the months and creating a submission for whatever you've seen as a fantastic thing. Spotlight is for other nominees across campus. We do have an event of the month, a student leader of the month, and a student organization of the month. Love to see those come through. Let us know who you think stands out. There is opportunities where you'll be purchasing something and you're going to want to get some of those dollars back and reimbursed. And so if you go to the student expense reimbursement form, PDF will download, and you can just print this off from wherever you're at. When you print it, you're going to want to make sure you fill out the top information fully so that we can get a hold of you if we have any questions and that we have your student organization account, where the money's going to come from. And then you're going to put in here, when did you purchase it, where did you purchase it from, and what was it for. You want to make sure you have the totals right, and you want to, after you've printed this off, attach the receipt to this. If you order pizza, one of the things that we often don't do is we don't get a itemized receipt. Make sure the receipt says exactly what you purchased on it, because if it's not itemized, they can't accept it. So make sure that your receipt says what were all the things that were purchased on. Once you have the receipt attached, you can write your name and sign. You want to make sure your advisor knows what you've purchased. And so again, making sure that they sign, and then turn this into the HMU front desk, and we will sign and send up to accounting. After a few days, they will have the check up there for you on second floor deputy. If you've made some purchases, or if you want to make a purchase, let's say you've ordered from Airmark and you want to pay for that, but you can't afford a $300 check, you can actually do a check request form. If you go here, this is just going to take you to another page where you can fill out all the information. Where do you want the checks to? Where are we sending it to? And then you'll put your name, what is it for? And again, go through that signature process. So you'll print this off, you'll sign, your advisor signs, and then you bring it to the HMU front desk and they will sign as well. If you are looking to travel, from the home page, you're going to see that we'll have the student travel request and BSU vehicle request, the vehicle driver agreement, and the SAFAC travel funding request, all right next to each other here. The first one that you want to get done is your vehicle driver agreement. If no one in your club has this done, you need to get this done as soon as possible. It takes a few weeks to get this approved because it needs to go to the state. So you're going to take this, print this up. Anyone who could possibly drive for your trip, you're going to want to make sure that they filled this out and submitted it to BSU. So they need to sign and get it turned in right away. Then you're going to want to fill out the student travel request and BSU vehicle request. In here, you're going to write out what is the cost of the trip based off of what vehicles you're taking, how many people are going, where the accounts are coming from, where the money is coming from, where you're going, what is the name of the event, and then you want to select. So if you're taking a BSU vehicle, if you have over 12 people, you're going to want 2 12-passenger vans, or maybe you want just one 12-passenger van and you're going to take a personal vehicle. You can put in here whatever you need, but you need to write down who all the drivers are, which would be someone who filled out the vehicle driver agreement and has been passed already. From there, you want to put everyone who's going on the trip in the travel roster. So add all students into the travel roster. You want to save this. So you're going to download this or save this document, as well as print it. So you have it both electronically and you have it physically. Once you've printed, you will sign, and then you're going to have your advisor sign. And you want to get this turned in as soon as possible. The document you have in hand, you want to make sure is signed and turned in as soon as possible. You're going to keep that electronic document for when you go to the SAFAC funding, travel funding request. When we come into the SAFAC travel funding request, we are going to want to share everything about this trip that we can. So share about your organization, but when we get into the detailed description of the activity, you want to explain why you need these funds, what are the funds going to, and how is this going to impact BSU students in a positive way. That form that you just printed off that you have submitted, you are going to want to upload in here. So if you click on this upload, you want to put that form in there, but it's really important that you don't think that you only have to do the SAFAC form. So you put this form in here. This does not get sent to travel as well. This is you submitting here. The SAFAC request is different from this. This document does help with the SAFAC travel request. From there, you're going to go next and submit. Lastly, if you're a club and organization and you're a brand new club and organization, you're looking to do some new programming, you can do our SAFAC special request form, which is right here. So you go to that SAFAC special request, you click new submission, you'll be able to request funds for an event that you're looking to do. Now, this would usually be, again, a new student organization who wasn't able to request funds the prior year because they started up late spring or they just got started this fall. Otherwise, if you're looking to do something that wasn't in your budget initially, but there was a great opportunity, so a speaker was in the area and you think they would make a big impact on campus and want to bring them in, you could do a special request, something where you wouldn't have known that you could have put it on your request for last year. And that does not mean you're guaranteed for those dollars, but it's a great opportunity to request and see if it's possible to put those programs on. In here, you're going to want to think about everything from what's the cost of marketing, what is the cost to put the program on, do we need food or do we want food at the program? And then you wanted to upload, if you can, upload a file describing your expenses, adding in what is that total amount requested, and submitting. All requests, whether it is a SAFAC special request, SAFAC travel request, you want to have in ideally a month in advance. You want to make sure that SAFAC knows you're planning to travel. Last thing that you're going to want to do is if you are working with a club that has any kind of physical contact in it, has risk for injury, you want to fill out the club sports waiver. If you go to the club sports waiver, you're going to do a new submission. And in here, you're going to click what club or organization you're a part of. So if I'm a part of the men's rugby club, I am going to go through. We are going to read this carefully so I understand what I'm actually signing. I'll type in my name so you know it's me. And then one more time, I'll type in my name, check that I know what's going on, and I'm going to type in my student ID. On the next page is going to be a emergency contact information. This is just if something were to happen and we needed to get a hold of somebody, we would be able to get a hold of them. And the last thing we're going to ask for is your healthcare provider. We don't need any information about about that other than that you have a healthcare provider. And it's helpful for us to know who that would be. And then if you were to say, oh, I don't have one, we'd reach out and just check in with you about being engaged in a sport that has a possibility for injury without any health insurance. So that is kind of the core basics of BeaverLink. If you have any questions, be sure to stop in at the HMU information desk or send an email to bsuclubandorg@bemidjistate.edu.